Hello, welcome to next session. In this session, we will solve day 2008 XC fluid mechanics. Okay. Useful data: acceleration due to gravity g is equal to 10 meter per second cube. Density of water rho w 1000 kilogram per meter cube. Density of air unless otherwise specified rho a is equal to 1.2 kilogram per meter cube. So first of all, one mark question. Question one: the potential function can be defined for a flow if and only if it is a laminar, B incompressible, C steady, D irrotational. Okay. Now the potential function in terms of velocity in x direction and y direction is given as u is equal to minus curly pi by curly x, b is equal to minus curly pi by curly y. Okay. And the angular velocity in z direction in two dimensional flow is 1 by 2 curly u by curly y and curly v by curly x. Now, if we put the value of u from this in terms of this stream function, sorry, in terms of this potential function, we get this 1 by 2 curly square curly pi by curly x curly y and minus curly square pi curly x curly y. Okay, so this comes out as 0. So the flow is irrotational. Okay, so the potential function exists only for the irrotational flow. Okay, so answer is your B. Next, the momentum equation you learn curly u by curly t plus u curly u by curly x plus v curly u by curly y plus w curly u by curly z is equal to 1 by minus 1 by rho dt by dx is valid only and only if the flow is unsteady, laminar, steady, invisible. As there is no viscosity or viscous shear stress component in the equation, and the equation involves only the inertia forces multiplied by rho, okay, inertia forces and the pressure force. Okay, so it is uh, when it is valid only for when the flow is invisible. Okay, next, which of the following statement is true for two kinematically similar flows? Option A: they must be geometrically similar but may or may not be dynamically similar. B: they must be dynamically similar but may or may not be geometrically similar. C: they must be neither geometrically similar nor dynamically similar. D: they must be both geometrically similar and dynamically similar. So option A. For kinematic similarity, the length, all the dimensions should be in proportion. Okay, and but the forces may not be considered. Okay, the forces may not, so it may not be dynamically similar, but velocity component should be similar. Okay, so for kinematic similarity, the geometric similarity must exist, but uh, dynamically similarity will not to be exist. So our answer is option A. The Darcy's-Weisbridge equation is for head loss is valid. Option A: only for laminar flow through smooth pipe. B: only for turbulent flow through rough pipe. C: for laminar or turbulent flow through smooth pipe only. D: for laminar for or turbulent flow through smooth or rough pipe. So head loss is your HF 4F LV square D by 2G. Okay, D by D to 2G. Okay, according to Darcy's Weisbridge equation. Okay, this is valid for all laminar, turbulent, smooth, and rough pipe. But for these flows, laminar, turbulent, and smooth pipe and rough pipe, the value of F may be different. Okay, all the other quantities will be same. Okay, so it is valid for all option B is the right answer. Next, a ceiling fan of diameter d and weight w is suspended at a distance L below the ceiling by a support rod. When the fan spins at high speed and creates a downward flow, the force exerted by the fan on the support rod is option A greater than W, Option B less than W. Option C equal to W. Option D greater than or less than W20 upon the value of D by S. Now, when there is no rotation, the pressure above the fan is atmospheric and pressure below the fan is atmospheric. But when the rotation takes place, the flow takes place in this direction. Okay, from here. Okay, in this direction. So the flow always take from high pressure to low pressure. So it creates a force component. Okay, and weight is always acting on the on the on the sport road. Okay, so the due to pressure and due to this weight, the net force will be more than W. Okay, so answer is the A. Okay, next log of following cross section are fully submerged horizontally in water. First is slender log, other is hollow slender, third is solid sphere, and fourth is your hollow sphere. Okay, the buoyancy force passes through point O for which of the following section. Okay, for which of the so following section. Okay, option A solid cylinder only. B solid cylinder and hollow cylinder only. C all cross section except hollow sphere. D all the cross section. So this is solid cylinder, this is hollow cylinder, this is solid sphere, this is hollow sphere. Okay, and all are fully submerged. So the center of the submerged portion is same as the center of gravity. Okay, that is O. In all the cases, that is the center of gravity. Okay, so and at this point or the point of center of submerged body, the forces are same. Okay, sorry. So buoyancy force act. So buoyancy force will act at the center of gravity in all the cases. So all the cross section buoyancy force will pass through point O. Okay, for all the cross section. Okay. Okay, so central joints will force will pass through from this because it is fully submerged, and this because it is fully submerged, and this and this. Okay, so answer is your D. A fluid particle can accelerate. Option A in a steady non-uniform flow field. B only in a only if the flow field is both unsteady and non-uniform. C only in an unsteady flow field. D in a steady uniform flow field if the viscous forces are large enough. Okay. The fluid particle can accelerate in a steady flow when the flow is uniform also. Okay. So answer is A because the fluid particle can also accelerate in unsteady flow and non-uniform flow. Okay, and it can also accelerate in unsteady flow and uniform flow. It can also accelerate in both non-steady and non-uniform flow. And the acceleration in the steady flow is due to the acceleration in steady flow is due to the change in velocity coupled with time, whereas the acceleration in uniform flow sorry, in non-uniform flow is due to the convective acceleration component. So answer is the okay. So other options contains only this is also contains only so these are both the right options. Okay, and in steady uniform flow the flow will not accelerate. Okay, so because flow is steady and the flow is uniform also. Okay, so there will be no acceleration. So answer is A. A fluid element is said to have vorticity with respect to a reference frame if in that reference frame option A it travels along a circular streamline, B it travels along a circular path line, C. It rotates about any arbitrary point in the flow field. It rotates about its own center of mass as it moves. So the irrotational flow is defined as the rotation of mass about its own center. Okay. So due to which the angular velocity comes into picture, and due to this angular velocity, the velocity comes into picture. So answer is your option B. Now two marks question. A cubical block of melting ice 20 centimeter into 20 centimeter into 20 centimeter rests on a smooth horizontal floor over a layer of water of 0.1 mm thickness. To pull the block at a speed of 1 meter per second, a force of 1 Newton is required. What is the force required to pull the block at a speed of 2 meter per second? Uh, A zero point 0.5 Newton, B 1 Newton, and C 2 Newton, and D 4 Newton. Okay. Now, according to Newton's law, the shear stress is mu du by dy. So uh, mu is not given. Okay. Now, in the first case, the du is 1 meter per second, and dy is your point 1. Okay, point 1. Okay, and if we multiply it by area, then we get force. Okay, so here mu is a constant quantity, and in the second case, uh, in the second case, dy is same, and but u is your 2 meter per second. So u is changing, and area of the block is also there. So tau and sorry, the force is given by tau into a. So force is directly proportional to velocity because other quantities are same. When the velocity is one, okay, then the force required is one. Okay, when only velocity is changing. Okay, so the force will also change. So answer will be 2 Newton. It can also be solved by like this, shown like this. Okay, with tau is equal to mu du by dy, putting f is equal to 1, and area is equal to this. Okay, 20 by 20, finding out mu, and then finding out force for u is equal to 2. Okay, it can also be solved like this. Okay. So answer is your option C. Okay. Finding out how, okay, du by dy, and mu, finding out mu, force is 1 Newton, tau to area. Okay. So force mu du by dy into A, so mu is 0.025, putting the value of mu at is your 2 by 0.1. So here is directly proportional to velocity because other quantities are same. A is same, dy is 0.1, u is same. So when u is changing, then force is changing. Okay. Next, which of the following statement is true? Eulerian description of fluid motion follows individual particles. The Lagrangian description of fluid motion in is a field description. See, both Eulerian and Lagrangian description follow the individual particle but in different vector frame. The Eulerian description is a field description while Lagrangian description follow the individual fluid particles. So answer is here B because Eulerian description is related to some space. Okay. Whereas Lagrangian description follows individual particles. So answer is B. Okay. Next. The velocity in a wind tunnel is being measured using a fitted static tube connected to a vertical U-tube manometer. Density of air is 1.2 kilogram per meter cube and the deflection of manometer is 24 mm. The manometric fluid is water and the velocity measured by a fitted static tube is option A 14.1 meter per second, B 20 meter per second, C 22 meter per second, D 400 meter per second. Now the dynamic had measured by the petrostatic to be 5400. Okay, so the pressure measured that is rho WGH. Rho W is your 1000, G is your 10, H is your 24,000. Okay, so this is your dynamic pressure. Okay, and your density of this dynamic pressure is measured by this dynamic pressure is of air. Okay, so the dynamic pressure of air is rho a u square by 2. Okay, so rho A is density of air. Okay, that is 1.2, and equating these two, we can get u velocity of air. So answer is your 2 uh, u square equal to 400 or 20 meters per second. Okay. So this is your dynamic pressure measured, and this is the dynamic pressure of air. Okay, so equating these two, you can get 20 meters per second. Next, the stream function for a potential flow around a corner is given by psi xy kxy, where k is constant, the slopes of streamline and potential line passing through point 1, 1 are respectively. So this is y, this is your x, this is these are the lines. Okay. Now we have to determine the slope of streamline and potential line. Okay. And your stream function is given as kxy, so stream function is kxy. So u is minus curly psi by curly y, okay, and v is your curly psi by curly x. Okay, so this is the definition of stream function. Okay, so this is your minus kx, this is your ky. So slope of streamline is given as v by u. Okay, here v is your ky, and u is your kx, so it will be minus y by x. So putting y is equal to 1, x is equal to 1. So we will have slope of streamline as minus 1. And slope of potential line is minus u by v. Okay, u is your kx, minus kx, so it will be kx, and v is your ky, it will be ky. So k cancel out, xy, so putting x is equal to 1, y is equal to 1. So answer is your B answer. Okay. Next, the non-dimensional numbers shown in the column 1 relate the inertial force with another force shown in column 2. Match the dimensionless number with the corresponding force. Column 1, column 2, R Reynolds number, F Proud number, E Euler number, W Weber number. Column 2, P pressure, G gravity, S surface tension, B viscous force. Answer is your D, because the roll number is nothing but the roll number is inertia force by viscous force. Sorry, viscous force by inertia force. Okay, so it is related to viscous force. Okay, the roll number is inertia force by gravity force. U. Okay, so it is related to gravity force, and Euler number is inertia force by pressure force. So it is related to pressure force. The number is inertia force by surface tension force. So it is related to surface tension force. Okay. Next, consider a consider the airfoil of dimensions shown. The lift coefficient Cn measured to be 1.4 based on the largest projected area. If the air density 1.2 kilogram per meter cube, then the flow over the airfoil of 50 meter per second. The lift force is 2.1 kilonewton, B 1.5 kilonewton, C 0.21 kilonewton, D 0.09 kilonewton. So the lift force is CL, well, CL half rho u square. So here the u A will be this, okay, and A is your 1 into 1, and u is your uh, u is your 50 meter per second, okay, and rho is 1.2, okay, so put this value in the 2.1 kilometer 1 kilometer. Next, a two-dimensional water jet hits a splitter plate as shown. The velocities at section 1, 2, and 3 may be taken as uniform and equal to V. The weight of water and friction along the plate may be neglected. For the data shown, what is theta? So this is your velocity V and at section 1, and this is the width of section 1 basically. This is the velocity V and this is the section width of section 2. This is velocity V, then width of the section 1. Okay, this is meter wave and this is angle theta. Okay. So and options are for theta options are A0, B tan inverse minus tan inverse 0.5, C cos inverse 0.5, D sin inverse 0.5. So here we can see that there is no vertical force on the meter thing. Okay. So balancing the upward and downward forces, and we can have zero vertical force. Okay. So the component of velocity of this V in vertical direction is d sin theta, and mass flow rate is your rho 2h into 1 into rho V. So this will be the force in upward direction, and here the force in downward direction is rho h V into V. Okay, so balancing these forces, we can get sin theta. Okay, because just balancing, because in vertical direction there is no force acting on the straight person. Okay, so upward force should be equal to downward force, and upward force is sine component of this, and downward force is this. Okay, and sine component is v sine theta, 2h rho v, and your downward component is rho h v into v, because there is no initial velocity, that is at section 1 1 there is no initial velocity in upward and downward direction. There is velocity in horizontal direction, so the force will be given by this v only. Okay, so this is the upward force, this is downward force, equating the two, we can get sin theta, and sin theta comes out as sin inverse 1 by 2. Okay, so answer is your B option. Okay, next, find the vertical hydrostatic force Fz on the surface PQ due to the water in the tank. Note Fz is the force per unit width along Y. The surface PQ is shaped like a quarter cylinder of radius r. The atmospheric pressure is P theta, so P naught. So option, these are the figure given. This is the figure given with P and Q as the uh, points of the one force of the circular cylinder shape. Okay, with R radius. This is R radius. This is G. Left, X in X direction. This is in X direction. This is Z direction. This is Y direction. Okay. Now you have to find out the force, vertical force on this PQ. Okay. Now vertical force will be nothing but the weight supported by this portion. Okay. This quarter of circular portion. Okay. Because here the atmospheric pressure is acting, here the atmospheric pressure is acting. So atmospheric pressure has nothing to do with it. Okay, because then both will cancel each other. So the the area, the weight of the water floated in this portion will be the force acting in vertical upward direction. Okay, or vertical force. Okay, because here the buoyant force is acting, here no water is there, so that's why the vertical force acting in this direction will be okay. The vertical force. Okay, weight supported in this portion is the vertical force. So area of this portion is 1/4 of the circle, that is pi r square by 4. Okay, and suppose width, suppose the dimension perpendicular to the paper is 1, so volume is this. Okay, pi r square by 4 into 1, and if we multiply by g and rho w, then it will be the weight of the water supported by this portion. So that is the vertical force. So answer is your C. Okay. Next, for a given location in a flow, the rate of change of density following a fluid particle d rho by dt is equal to curly rho by curly t plus u curly rho by curly x plus v curly rho by curly v y plus w curly rho by curly z is 2.4 kilogram meter cube per second. If the density at that point is 1.2 kilogram per meter cube, then the divergence of velocity field delta dot v is at that point is option A zero point 0.5 per second, option B minus 0.5 per second, C minus 2 per second, D 2 per second. So this is your rate of change of density with respect to time. Okay, and this is given as 2.4. Okay, and rho is given as 1.2 kilometer kilogram per meter cube. Okay. Now from the continuity equation we have this d rho by dt, okay, plus rho u by rho x plus rho curly v by curly y and rho curly w by curly z. So this is the continuity equation. Okay, and if we take rho out of this, okay, out of this theta, we get this. This is nothing but delta dot v or curl of velocity field. Okay, so sorry, divergence of velocity field. Okay, so now we have this value, that is 2.4. This we have this value, that is 1.2. So we can find out this. Okay, so that is 22.4 divided by 1.2. That is minus 2 per second. So answer is your C. Okay, now question number 18. Question number 18. Water is flowing with a volume flow rate Q through a pipe whose diameter reduces to half across a reducer. If the flow is frictionless, compare the manometer readings H1, H2, H3, and H3 corresponding to three different inclination of the pipe. Theta is equal to 30 degree, theta 2 is equal to 0 degree, theta 3 is equal to minus 30 degree. Note that the only the pipe tilts while the manometer always stays vertical. Okay. So this is the figure given with the pipe tilting at 30 degree at this at three at angle theta. Okay. Here diameter 2D, Q is mass flow rate, sorry, volume flow rate, and D is your diameter, is this diameter. Okay. So this is mercury reading H. Okay. So for the theta 1, theta 2, the H, this dimension is H1, H2, H3. Now you have to select one of the following options. The options are H1 is greater than H2 is equal greater than H3. B H1 is less than H2 is less than H3. C H1 is equal to H2 is equal to H3. And D H1 is equal to H3 and H1 is less than H2. Okay. When the pipe is tilting at an angle 30 degree, okay, so it will be like this. Okay, so then the uh, Z is the water head. Z is the water head difference between the two. Okay. Then applying the Bernoulli's equation at point 1 and 2. Okay. So P1 is for pressure at 1, V1 square 2G. Okay. And here suppose the pressure is P2 by rho v and the difference of head is Z. So it is Z and V for V2 is the velocity. Okay. Now relationship between the pressure and this Z is can be determined by this V2. Okay. So applying the head at x and at y. In the left limb we have P1 plus rho g H1 and in the uh, right limb we have P2 plus rho m GH1 rho GH rho GZ. Okay, rho is density of air and rho m is density of this mercury. Okay, from this we can have P1 by rho g minus P2 by rho g minus Z is equal to rho m minus rho by rho H1. Okay, so we can put this value here. Okay, and from this equation becomes rho m minus rho by rho h1 is equal to v2 square by 2g minus v1 square by 2g. Okay, by putting p1, p2 and z. Okay, so here v2 is nothing but q by a2 and v1 is nothing but q by a1, and as q is constant and rho m and rho is nothing but density of mercury and water. So these are also constant. So H1 is a constant quantity with the value of this, with this value. Okay, and when theta is zero, then there will be no z. Okay, so balancing at 1 1 and 2 2 will give this rho 1 P1 by rho g plus V1 square by 2g, V2 square by 2g plus P2 by rho g. But here, balancing this pressure and head at this and this, okay, in the and the left and right wing, we can get P1 by rho g minus P2 by rho g is equal to rho m by minus rho by uh, rho S2, because here the pressure is P1 and rho g S2. Okay, and here this is P2 rho GH2 plus, sorry, rho GH2. Okay, so from this we can get this pressure difference. Okay, so this quantity is same. Okay, so we can do like this. So here the pressure difference is this. So now here we can put P1 minus P2 like this. Okay, so H2 again here will be this quantity. Where with V2 being says that Q by A2 and V1 being Q by A1. Okay, so H2 will be your this quantity. That is same as that of H1. Okay, so H2 is equal to H1. Now when we take minus 32 angle, so Z will be added here. Okay, Z like in 1, Z is added in the right side. Okay, because here the level was more, and in when we take this minus 30 degree, Z will be added here, and again this H3, this is H3, this H3 is given by, then this H3 is given by P1 by rho g minus P2 by rho g plus Z. Okay, so now again H3 will come out as V2 square by 2g minus V1 square by 2g or rho m minus rho by rho. Okay, so this is also again the same quantity. So H3 will be equal to H2 into the H2. So option C is the right answer. Okay, next. A 4-meter wide canal is modeled using a 1-meter wide dynamically similar model in the laboratory. The wooden block was observed to travel between 2 points in the model in 8 seconds. Okay. How long will it take to travel between the corresponding points in the actual canal? Option A 45, option B 85, option A 4 seconds, option B 8 seconds, option C 16 seconds, option D 32 seconds. Okay. So when we create the proud number, okay, because here they are models and prototype are dynamically similar, and the wooden block flowing in a canal, and in which there is only one fluid, that is water. So it is also kinematically similar. Okay, so we can use kinematical similarity. Okay, so Freud model law is applicable because fluid is safe. Okay, so according to Freud model law, V by total P is equal to V by total M. Okay, so LP in the first case, LP is your 4 meter. In the second case, LM is your 1 meter. Okay, so and VP is your velocity product is LP by TP, and VM velocity of model is LM by TM. Okay, so putting these values LP by TP, okay, and L as root LP, okay, and now and LM by TM and divided by root LM. We have TP by TM as this root 4. Now the wooden block was observed to travel between 2 points in model is 8 per second. So TM for model is with 8 seconds, TM is 8 seconds. So PT will be 60 seconds. Answer is your C. Next, next is the water dynamic viscosity mu 0.001 Newton second per meter cube flows under pressure through a pipe of 1 centimeter diameter at a velocity of 1 centimeter per second. What would be the head loss per kilometer length of pipe? Option A 0.08 meter, option B 0.16 meter, option C 0.32 meter, option D 1.2 meter. 1.28 meter. Okay. Now, as the pipe is having velocity of water as 1 centimeter per second. Okay, that is the average velocity. Okay. So, as there is viscosity in the pipe, so velocity within the pipe will be variable. Okay, and in pipe we have the maximum velocity 2 into average velocity, and the maximum velocity exists as center. Okay, and so from the wall of the pipe and center of the pipe we have distance uh, that is 1/2 centimeters. Okay, so when we apply Newtonian law, so the distance divided is 1/2 centimeter or 1/200 meters. Okay, and when we apply and the difference in maximum velocity or the velocity at center and velocity at uh, velocity on the wall will be your double of this velocity. So this will be 2 centimeter per second. Okay, so this is your this will also be your 2 meter per second, 2 by 100 meter per second. Okay, so du will be your 2 by 100 and dy will be your 1 by 200. Okay, so putting this value we can get tau. Tau is your 0.004 Newton per meter square. Okay, so tau is your 0.004 Newton per meter. And in the pipe flow we have this tau is equal to minus p into curly p by curly f into r by 2. Okay, now tau is your 0.004. Okay, and r is your uh, 1 centimeter. R is your 1/2 centimeter. Okay, or 0.5 centimeter or 0.5 by 100. Okay, so 2 is this. So for this and this tau is your 0.004. Okay, so from this we have this as 1.6 Newton meter per square per meter of pressure difference. Okay, or in terms of kilometer it will be 1600. Okay, Newton meter per square per kilometer. Okay, so the head. So this is your pressure difference per kilometer. Okay, so this is also equal to rho g hf. Okay, so we can calculate from this hf hf will be 0.16. Option B is the right answer. Okay, next, air with air free stream velocity 10 meter per second flows over three different fluff bodies P, Q, and R as shown below, with heavy spherical radius in the form of moon. These are the figure given with free stream velocity we know. So this is the R radius, this is 5R, this is R, this is R, this is 0. Okay. Comparing the total drag force on the three bodies, state which of the following is true. State which of the following is true. Okay. So here in the first case, the velocity will be like this, and the flow will separate here. Okay, because of the shape of the this object. Okay, and in the second case, the flow will it's attached to the this attached to this shape to this point. Okay, and then it will separate. Okay, and in the third case, the separation, the attachment is more. Okay, so more the attachment, more is the area for drag. Okay, so in the and the flow will separate here. Okay, so in B, the drag force will be maximum. Okay, and in so answer is your A. The answer should be A. Actually, so more the attachment, more will be the drag force. Okay, so answer will be the A. So we leave here and we will come be more confirmed in question number 21. Okay. So in the next video we will solve remaining questions. Okay. 21 to 34.